when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop? I really think you're gonna guess it, but I was just listening to this song literally this morning. I went on a walk to go get some coffee, and it just came on shuffle, and I was like, "Oh, it's so kismet," and you'll see why. Hairdo, nails done, that's us. New car, paper tags, that's us. New gear, hot shit, that's us. Keep niggas like, that's us. Where my get money honey? Where my get money honeys at? Right here. Where my iced out bitches at? Right here. Where my gold getting bitches at? Right here. Where my silver spoon women at? Right here. If you the shit, girl, let that nigga do. Let that nigga know. Your rent due, girl, let that nigga go. Enjoy yourself, girl, let that nigga know. Sex good, girl, let that nigga know.
Is this Sweetie?
Not at all.
Dang.
This
feels like City, or if it's not Sweetie, is it City Girls?
No, but close.
Trina?
It is Trina.
I was like, yeah.
I love this song. Like, it's what like morning affirmations. It's Told Y'all. Song with Rick Ross.
Morning affirmations.
It's like morning affirmations. Like, where my silver spoon, where my iced out bitches at? Right here. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Manifest. Manifesting that shit.
That was a good one. You said it with such gusto too, so I know you'd be listening to that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to try to do this in the cadence. I feel like you're going to get it, but like...
I'm excited.
Okay. Like a wrestler, another notch under my belt. The embezzler, chrome treasurer, the UNO competitor. I'm 10 steps ahead of ya. I'm a leader, y'all on some following shit. Coming in the game.
Oh, okay, now shit. I got it. Okay, this is Lil' Kim. Okay, you said that, and at first I was like, wait, what? But then you said that.
I was like, I'm not doing her any justice.
You said that. This is Lil' Kim. It's the, what is it, Quiet Storm remix?
Yeah.
With Mobb Deep?
Yep.
Yes,
yep.
Okay, I knew it. As soon as you said that, I knew. I was like, at first, like, wait, what?
You're like, what the?
What a great song. What a great verse. What a great woman.
I've been listening to so much like 90s hip hop this past week. Like,
what is your favorite that you've been listening to?
I've been listening to a lot of Wu-Tang. And so I was listening to Protect Your Neck, Triumph. Mm-hmm. There was another one with just Method Man. And then I was listening to Mobb Deep, so I got into like The Quiet Storm, Shook Ones Part 2. Yeah. And I was just like, dang. I was like, I feel like my parents, like, hits. I was like, they don't like make music like this.
They don't make music like this no more. You know what else is so funny? That I think I was watching this clip of Method Man. He was on some, I don't know, like, it wasn't Drink Champs, but it was a show like that. And he was talking about how he came up with, I think it might have been for Cream, like how he came up with
Cream,
like the beat, like how it all went together. And he was talking about like, oh, this Beatles song, oh, this other song, and like how he put all, I don't know if it was a Beatles song. I gotta find the clip, but it was like listening to him talk about like how he pulled all these samples out of like all these different songs from all these different genres to make this one like really classic hip hop record. I'm like, that's what we're missing today too. Niggas don't know game. Like, y'all don't listen to music for real.
Y'all ain't listening like the way they used to be listening.
They don't know music.
They don't know.
They're just finding samples from a song from like 2001. They probably never even heard the song. Never even heard the song. And then they're just like, and I'm just gonna rap over this. They don't know.
They don't know the origins.
Like,
they don't have the origins.
On? We need musicians.
I agree.
Musicians. Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Where My Girl's At. It is spring.
It is spring.
How are you feeling? Is the weather getting better? Is it beautiful outside
It's
yet?
starting to get better. The cherry blossoms sprung, so that was really nice. I've been seeing it like riding around the city, and it's really beautiful. And it has gotten a little bit warmer. And I like that. I feel like it's still in that in-between time where it's like, I should bring a jacket. But like
Yeah.
it's still warm outside, but
Uh-huh.
by the evening it still gets a little bit cool.
Right, right.
But no, things have been good. And like
That's
I
good.
went to my cousin's wedding the other day, which was a lot of
Oh, I saw on
fun.
Instagram. You look
It
so
was so
cute.
beautiful. It was so beautiful. Good times with
Everybody's getting fucking
family.
married, man.
Getting married,
Getting fucking
baby,
married.
marathon,
Oh my
or
god.
grad
That's
school.
it.
With
That's
grad
it.
school,
Those are the
that's
four
all.
options.
Those are the four options. You
Four
choose one. Choose one.
Oh my god. My future, I'm not sure if it's bright, but I'm
I thought you were
looking
doing a
into the
marathon.
future. I decided I'm going to do the marathon in 2026. So
Okay.
I'm not training for it yet. I'm probably going to
Okay,
start
okay.
training for it around like September, October. Speaking of a marathon, apparently there's a triathlon going on like down my block.
Oh
I didn't
wow.
even know they blocked off like the main like street. Like you know how like there's a street that
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
from one corner of the city to. I woke up and I was like, why the fuck is there yellow tape? Like I can't go down Western. There's a fucking race
There's
going
a
on right
race.
now. So there's
Crazy.
that.
Triathlons are like a different beast. Like you
I
have
don't
to
know if I could
be.
do it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I could do it because you can't listen to music when you ride the bike.
Really? Why?
No, because it's a safety hazard.
That makes sense. That
You
makes
can't listen to
sense.
music when you ride the bike, and that is that's a huge part of it for me. It's a
Yeah. No, I
mental
agree.
thing, and I don't know if I could get over it if I can't listen. If I can hear myself breathing, I'm gonna psych myself out.
Right. Like
I can't
I
do
can't.
it. I can't do it. However, I do like bike riding, but that's competitive bike riding, you know?
Yeah,
Like
it's not
I'm
for
not trying to
funsies.
be I'm not doing no X game shit, you know? Cuz they be getting for real hurt.
Oh,
Like
really?
oh my god, yes, like they be like breaking bones and like scraping their whole skin off and shit when they fall like and they need really expensive
And
bikes.
those thin ass tires, probably. Yeah.
They have to have those.
Yeah.
I think that's like I don't know if it's a requirement. I'm just talking. But yeah, no, no, but I am training for a marathon. Yes. Not
Okay,
yet,
see?
but I
But
will
I'm
be.
saying, like,
But
you're
I
in the
will
cat. You
be.
chose one. You chose one.
I chose my path. I have to follow it.
What
Oh
about
man.
you? What are you up to?
Honestly, not much. Like the weather's really great, so I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, no, I've just been working, doing other stuff like working on personal projects. I'm doing stand up. I have a show this
Nice.
month, which is going to be really
Nice.
fun because it's at a new club that I've never
Cool.
performed at. So I'm a little bit nervous, but mostly I'm just very excited. It just feels like good fun. I'm starting to like get a little antsy, like I feel like I've been locked in,
Uh-huh.
trying to do the work. And now I'm like, damn, it's nice outside. Like, I just want to go dilly dally,
Oh my gosh. Love a
all
dilly
day.
dally.
I just
Love a
want to
dilly
go dilly
dally.
dally. I don't know why, but yesterday I woke up and I was like, because I finished 75 hard on Friday.
Oh, congrats.
So yeah, insane. So then I woke up and I was like, I don't have anything to do. So I decided I would go for a hike.
Hmm.
Um, because what else the fuck? You don't have anything to do.
Why
Why
not?
not go for a hike? But then I decided I wanted to go and have lunch after the hike, and I knew I wanted to have a drink because I needed a drink. So I was like, I'm
Oh,
not
because you weren't drinking on 75 hard.
exactly. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna drive. So then I get to like the last bus that I have to take me like to the trail beginning, and the bus just doesn't show up, which happens all the time in LA. But but
Okay.
I haven't done that. I haven't dealt with that lately because I drive now.
Mm.
But so then I was like, well, I'm not gonna walk to the hike. Like, fuck that. So I ended up like taking like a 3 hour walk, like from one side of LA to like the other side. And I don't know, I was listening to a book. I was just walking like for
Hmm.
hours and hours. I think I walked like maybe 7 or 8 miles yesterday.
Hey, good for you.
Um and then I had a meal, so that was what I did on my
That's
Saturday.
nice. That's actually very nice. Very
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. Okay,
Nice.
should we get into some hot topics?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
I want to start with this Ebro shit, because Doja Cat was recently like tweeting about this whole thing. Like she
Oh,
was
okay.
she was talking about it. So Ebro was on his show and they were talking about Doja Cat teasing new music, which we will talk about. And then one of the co-hosts was on the show, like it really doesn't click for me with her. And then Ebro's like baiting him, trying to get him to say
The thing, yeah.
with the thing that he doesn't want to say. He's like, I can't really put my finger on it. And then Ebro just blurts out, Is it because she's not black enough? And then he's like, hey man, you said it, not me. And I just like, and then Doja Cat tweeted like, people have been spreading lies about me for, years, and I've just let them spread lies about me. And she was on Twitter saying, I feel so inauthentic all the time. Like I get everything I say and do from like TV that I watch and like media that I consume, like I just like to, make sounds with my mouth. I don't know when it became so political, and just like saying like she feels like really inauthentic and like a fraud, and like, but also she just is like, I don't understand why people keep picking on me, like when all I'm trying to do is make music. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because wasn't she just on Ebro's show?
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was like, didn't they have like a really great conversation?
I was gonna say, wasn't it a really good interview?
Yeah, and he was like, he really, it seemed like he got her music and like what her direction was. So that's why I was like really confused about this. And I was like, I was like, did Ebro say that because he was like baiting the other co-host, or does he also actually feel that way?
See, but I think he was baiting him because he wanted the guy to say it, so he didn't have to say it. So he didn't have to say it. So yeah, so basically what I was saying, I definitely felt like Doja Cat feels like she's inauthentic as a rapper, because of the kind of poppy, dance music that she makes. And so I feel like that was what Scarlett was her, kind of like doing this to prove something. But I don't ever think I felt like she has to pander to the Black community. But I also don't see the argument that she is not a rapper. Like I don't accept that argument just because she makes really, really good pop music. I think the problem is most people don't have the kind of versatility that Doja Cat has.
Right. I would agree. And I feel like they didn't deny her like rapping ability. They were saying that she can rap, but I don't know. I thought it was
they don't like the way that she does it. They don't like the way that she moves and how she doesn't exactly operate the way that most other female rappers do. So I can definitely see there being some, well, why doesn't she have to do X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean?
Because she's
like when other rappers have to, because she is different,
Yeah.
She's like a beast all her own, an incredible artist, an incredible live performer, just like the whole fucking package. And no, I don't think that she needs to contain herself to just rap. But I don't think that it makes her any less of a rapper, and I don't think it makes her any less Black.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Anyway, moving on. So I saw that Megan is getting her own GTA radio station in the new Grand Theft Auto. Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto?
I've never played, but I saw a couple of tweets about it. It was like me listening to Cognac Queen running you bitches over.
I used to play it when I was like a kid, when my brothers would play the game. But video games give me a headache. I can't focus. There's too much going on the screen at once.
Yeah.
And you also have to operate the buttons and shit.
And so I'm looking down and like,
but listen, I love that.
Me
because
too.
She's a huge gamer. She loves gaming. And I love that. I love that she's getting into this like realm of things.
No, me too. I think that's exciting.
Okay, moving on to Cardi B. Cardi B has had just big news. First of all, today is the 7th anniversary of Invasion of Privacy.
Wow.
And I know, right? Crazy. 7 years.
Yeah.
But now she just recently, I know, right? She just recently announced a partnership with Revolve Group, the California-based lifestyle and fashion retailer, and it's going to be a multi-category venture. And it's the artist's first owned apparel and beauty brands, and Revolve's expansion into beauty. She says that people have been expecting both from me. My beauty line, people have been expecting that like an album. And she also like is wearing one of the pieces that's going to be from her fashion line. And so she's going to have creative director Patience Foster and then also Colin Carter, who's her stylist. Like they're all working together to create this and create this like new fashion line, this new beauty line. There's probably going to be a hair care line. And Cardi B is going to be is building her brand, you know, is expanding her
Empire.
ventures,
Yeah.
her empire, exactly. And I think one, as far as beauty brands go, like we're way too oversaturated. You know, we don't need another celebrity beauty brand. We don't need another
Yeah.
celebrity fragrance, a celebrity skincare line. So I hope that doesn't come first. But Cardi B starting her own fashion line, 1000%. 1000% I support it.
Yeah.
This is exactly the kind of thing that Cardi B should be doing if she's not going to be working on her
She's
album.
not going to be
You
working
know,
on
if
the album.
is she not going to be doing the music,
Might as well. Might as
this
well.
hey, I absolutely think this is what she should be doing.
No.
And I personally can't wait.
I'll
You
be
know, I can't wait to
interested.
see what I'm interested to see what it'll look like because I think it's going to
Same.
be a mix, you know, of like streetwear, like street fashion, and also like very high fashion avant-garde pieces. And then I feel like there's going to be some loungewear in there that everybody can wear. But like, I think this is her lane, you
Yeah.
know, and it's absolutely the perfect like venture for her to be undertaking because people do random shit just to make money. But this is
No.
something she's good at.
Like it makes sense. It makes
It
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't imagine what I thought her line would look like if it was going to be like streetwear. And I wonder what the demographic, like in the sense of like, is it going to be higher priced like
Probably
fashion?
for
Or is it
Revolve.
going to be like, you know, I don't
I
know.
don't think it's gonna be like thousands of dollars a piece,
No,
but I feel
no.
like mid-range pricing,
Mm,
especially for Revolve, which has like mid-range prices, like
mm.
it's not gonna be fast fashion
Okay, that's what I
prices.
was trying to say. Like, is it like Fashion Nova type of thing? Like, is this going to be
I
like the new
doubt it.
Charlotte Russe type of deal?
I doubt it. I
Grab
doubt
it
it's
and
gonna
go?
be I think it's gonna be a little bit more expensive and a little bit better quality. But
Hmm.
also like I mean like have you ever shopped at Revolve?
No, I haven't.
So that's like it's kind of like mid-range pricing. Like things cost from like maybe like $100 to like maybe like $1,000. There's probably
Okay.
more and probably stuff that costs a little bit less, but it's like you're gonna spend something. You
Okay.
know, like you're gonna spend something on a piece. You
Okay.
know, you're not probably gonna go and do a shopping spree and get like 10 pieces
Got it.
from the
I got it.
collection at once, unless you got it like that. And you
Hmm.
know, in this economy, who the fuck
Fuck does.
does?
Yeah.
Who knows? I have heard that these tariffs have gone into like effect and people are losing their 401ks. The stock market,
Is
people's stock
down. It's
portfolios
just
are
down.
like dropping
It
and I'm
is.
just like woo, shocked.
It is tough
Shocked.
times. It is tough
Tough
times.
times.
But no, I'm interested to see what it'll look like, and I think she really emphasized the idea that she wants this clothing line to be fit for people's bodies, especially curvy
Yes.
women. And she was
Yes.
saying how like, you know, I want there to be pieces in here that people are like, yo, these are like my favorite pair of jeans because they just hug me
Yes.
so well, or like the
That is so important
blazer,
too.
and have those staple pieces. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like I haven't found those staple pieces in
Because
a while.
how often do you have to like buy jeans, get them
Hmm.
tailored,
Yeah.
or buy jeans and then they're not good quality,
Hmm.
you know? So like I that's something I'm always looking for.
For
Like
sure.
I'm looking for like good staple pieces now. Like
Totally.
I love to dress up and like wear whatever, but I also like that's something I want. So
Like, and I
I'm
would spend money,
excited.
and I would spend money on that. Like,
Exactly. And so I'm hoping that's what the line gives.
hmm.
Now, who knows how long it's going to last? Who knows when it's going to launch
Who
in
I was
this
like, who knows when it's
economy?
gonna launch?
Shit, who knows who's going to be able to fucking afford it? But you know, I'm really proud of her. You know, I'm happy. On the other side of the coin though, Offset is once again terrorizing Cardi B and she
Yeah.
is coming to tell us all of the business.
Hmm.
So Cardi B got on Twitter Spaces. Oh my god, somebody needs to take this from her. Like
Do you
somebody
are
needs
you
to
on
take
Twitter
this from her.
Spaces? I'm not on like Spaces or like Threads on Instagram. Like, are you on that stuff?
I'm not on Threads, but Spaces I do go and listen to sometimes
Okay.
if I'm bored. I like pop in because sometimes people are being messy. If I'm bored, I'll go and be messy. So she just revealed a lot of things like in this space. Like she said that Offset is threatening to kill her and then kill himself. He is sending their sex tapes to her new boyfriend. He has been stalking her and ruined her Valentine's Day, and he's paying bloggers to spread lies about Cardi.
That's crazy. Crashing out.
Somebody needs to stab him once again. You know, jokingly, of course, ha ha ha. Somebody needs to stab him.
This is, I think this is like another case.
At what point do you get a restraining order?
Well, yeah, I mean, she should get a restraining order, but I was gonna say that it's like, if someone like Cardi B has someone in her life who is doing something like this, then only imagine the women who don't have the same amount of access and resources to protect themselves. And it's incredibly sad, I think, to me. And I feel bad for her that it's like you have all of this, and it's like you're also entangled with this person as well with children. So it's like it even goes beyond just like keeping yourself together. It's like this is the father of your children. So it's even more complicated.
No, it's really sad. But for the love of God, I wish she would go to court and not just come and like bring us the receipts. Like, if it's that serious and he's that dangerous, put him behind bars. Who cares about him, like, being in his kids' lives if he's abusive and he's like causing you this much distress? Shoot that nigga. No, but put him behind bars.
Please, take legal repercussions.
Man, he should like have some type of like gag order, restraining order, can't contact me. Go through a mediator if it's about the kids. Because this is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Nuts. No. Speaking of legal trouble, Sexy Red is alleged she's being sued for $5 million over allegedly threatening her child's grandmother. So it says that Nicole Barnes, 51, the paternal grandmother of one of the rapper's children, alleges that Sexy encouraged her fans to physically assault her. She says Sexy Red posted a photo of Barnes's, the grandmother's, home on Facebook and requested that fans kick in the door to harm Barnes. And she posted the address last year. And she said, Sexy Red and her baby daddy are getting into beefs for whatever reason that have nothing to do with my client, said the attorney. We did try to informally resolve it, and her attorneys thought it was a joke. Now they're finding out that it is not a joke. And so the grandmother says that she and her family have had to leave their home to protect themselves, but they live in constant fear. So she's suing for $5 million in damages, alleging assault, and that the rapper purposely and recklessly caused emotional distress.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
What? First of all, why are you posting on Facebook at all? I mean, that's her demographic. That was the first. That's her demographic. What the fuck do you mean you're posting on Facebook and you're Sexy Red?
That's some that shit.
To be so dumb to like post somebody's address and then tell people go kick in the door. Do you know
it's twofold. Why would you do it, one? And two, who are the people following through on this?
Who's actually going to do that?
Yeah, they're like, you know what? I'm a ride.
People are fucking nuts.
I know.
People, and that's what's scary.
I know.
Is somebody might actually do that shit.
No, exactly. Like,
that's terrifying to think about.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Man, what is wrong with people? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah.
The fuck is up? What's wrong with everybody? What's wrong with everybody? That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Rico Nasty was talking about her new project. She's been doing a lot of interviews talking about the project because it comes out in like a little over a month.
Yeah.
And she was in this little clip in this interview, she was talking about before kind of the same things we were saying about her music.
Yeah.
It was like she felt pigeonholed, and she felt like she had to give one kind of rap,
version,
and she had to go viral on TikTok. But she's like, this new music, this new album, her new project, it's gonna feel like Sugar Trap. Like old Rico. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, I was excited to hear her say that. And I think like a common thread of like what she's talked about throughout this new album promotion is just the growth in herself of being like a impressionable like 20-something year old to being someone who has matured and found more solace, I think, within their identity and authenticity as an artist.
And doesn't
And
she look happier?
and she looks happier. Yeah, she
She
does
looks
look
happier.
happier. Exactly. So
That's so exciting. I'm really excited. Da da da. Should we talk about new music?
yes, let's talk about new
Let's
music.
talk about new music. So Doja Cat is teasing new music. From the snippets that you heard, or like the snippet
Yeah, I was
and
like
then
the snippet.
the beat of the other one that got cut off. What were your thoughts?
I I was excited. I was trying to see if I could like compare it, excuse me, to like a certain like album like that
Mm-hmm.
she's already put out, but it feels R&B ish,
It
which is
does.
cool. Um, and I was like, okay, I'm excited for this. Um, I think I think it will be. I hopefully it'll be more R&B geared. I'm
It'll be.
hoping,
I think it will
and
be, and I'm excited.
like love
Yeah.
centered as well. I think that would be really cool.
I feel like I don't see how people can call her not a rapper simply because she's versatile. Like she can rap and then also do the chorus. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
okay.
don't. I love this song. I want it ASAP. I don't have a nigga, and I still. I
Right,
still
give it
want
to
this.
me. Give it to
Give
me.
it to me right now, and it's giving like not exactly Planet Her, but Planet Her if it was more sultry and mature.
Yeah,
And it doesn't feel exactly like a summertime vibe, but I don't know. I need to hear the rest of the album to
I
decide that.
know.
But
Yeah,
it feels like a fall kind of vibe, you
I
know?
can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. But the second one, the little beat, like I can tell that it's giving like dancing, like
Like,
70s, 80s, Grace Jones, like Beyonce Renaissance vibes,
yeah,
before she cut it off. So now I'm like, girl, I need to hear it. Like, when
right.
is the music coming?
No, I was like, when is this happening?
Somebody on
Um,
Twitter said that it would not be a Doja Cat rollout if there was not some controversy. And so that must mean the album's gonna be fire. Because that's all it tells
it's a
me.
part of the recipe.
It's literally every time something comes out of the woodwork about Doja Cat, then she drops an album.
She's
So
like, you
you
know
know
what? Shut
what?
up.
This is just the way it is.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, what about the new Rico Nasty song, On the Low?
I think I'm trying to remember how it sounded. I feel like it was similar. It was a similar vibe to the last song that she had put out,
Mm-hmm.
the other single, but it seemed on brand for her. I mean, I don't think I'll be personally like returning to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it seemed like she was having fun while she was recording it,
That's what I thought. I thought like first of all she looks good.
and she does
Like
look good.
she
Yeah.
looks incredible, phenomenal. But I thought the song gave like sugar trap vibes. Like
Mm,
she genuinely seemed like sounds like she's carefree and having fun,
mm-hmm.
and when she was releasing that and I can really see her collaborating with like Avril Lavigne or
Ooh, Paramore.
Paramore or
Yeah,
something like that. Like
I
it's
can see that.
perfect. It's really perfect, especially because I think alt black girls are having like a huge moment
Totally.
like they had in like 2017,
Right.
twenty eighteen
Yeah,
when
when sugar.
Rico was first coming up.
That's so
But I
true.
think the song was too short. So,
Mm.
I wish it was longer. The next song, Tweakers. I have this to say. Who is this child?
I don't know who he is.
Why does he keep coming up?
He looks so young.
He's literally a child, but this is the second song that I've heard him on with a female rapper. Is he trying to pander to us?
For sure, he has to be. But
Is he
also, like,
is he trying to make us listen to his music?
maybe. And I feel like him, and maybe it's not just him, I feel like all the other rappers, like, in this genre of his
Mhm.
age, it's like they have the same name as somebody else, but they make a slight tweak to it. Like,
Yeah. Who the
baby
fuck is
face,
Babyface
face
E?
E, face with the X instead of a, come on. Or
Like,
like,
come on.
there was another one that I was like, this seems like the same person. Was it like not? I want to say like what was his name? Skilla Baby and somebody
Skillet baby?
and somebody else. But I was like, are you all not the same person? Like y'all aren't the same person?
Why is nobody copywriting anything?
Exactly.
Where's
But
nobody's protecting their likeness?
yeah, but I mean, I thought that this music, the song was like okay. Mellow Bucks was like also okay. I feel like I would like to see. I feel like Mellow Bucks needs to figure out like how she wants to like I guess I feel like present
Mm.
in her music because I
Mhm.
think she has times where she's like I'm being like this like hard lyricist and I can
Mhm.
give you punchlines. And then I don't know, I like with this song, I was just like, I don't feel like this is you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like I feel like there needs to be a little bit more definition of like how she wants to show up in the industry.
I thought her verse was fine. You know, it wasn't like great, but I
Hmm.
feel like the kind of moves that she's making is like to get her reps in. You know, like she
Okay.
needs to get on like these guest verses and really figure out what is going to work for her before she
Mm,
really pops off with her own music. Because
okay.
once that does happen, she's going to need to be able to sustain it. So I look at this like kind of thing as good practice. Like get on a
Got
bunch of
you.
different types of songs with different rappers. What hits? What does your
Hmm.
audience love? What do you connect with? What comes naturally and easiest to you? What are you most proud of in the different kinds of pockets of rap that she's getting into? So
Hmm.
what I see it as is like practice. You
Okay.
know,
I
because I
can see
don't
that.
think it's time for her to be releasing her own
Hmm.
projects. I don't even think it's time for her to be releasing that much solo music. I
Mm,
think it's absolutely time for her to be doing this kind of thing. Just
yeah.
like who wants to collaborate with me? Like,
Hmm.
let me get on the song, let me try something and see
Right.
if it hits. And
Right.
see if it hits. So I totally get with you what you're saying about like her identity as a rapper
Hmm.
not very clear. I think this is the time to really iron that out.
That's fair. That's fair. Hmm.
Yeah. Um moving on to this next fucking song, Chow. So Never Need of Anicia featuring Glorilla and Caribou. So this is kind of the same thing we were saying about Glorilla the last episode.
It's like, why is
Why
she
is
getting
she
on these
saying
songs? Why is she getting on these stinkers?
why is she saying yes to all of this? I don't quite understand what it's doing for her.
I don't know what it's doing for her.
Cuz this is
Maybe
a
she's trying to
stinker.
help. Maybe she's trying to help the community. I don't know. But
Um
it's
sh-
like she honestly could have taken this song
and made it
in
her
her
own.
own. Yeah,
And made it her own and it would have been better.
it did so
You
much
know,
better.
this is not the kind of beat Caribou needs to be on. You
I
do not
agree.
need to be sampling a Kia song. Is it Kaya? It's Kaya. A Kaya song.
Hmm.
Because like you can't catch the beat. Like
She could not catch the beat.
Glorilla is the only one who can catch the fucking beat and ride it the way that it should. And a beat like this is not the kind of beat for Anicia. She needs to be rapping over some shoddy low beats. You know? Like she needs something slower with the energy that's more mellow cuz this is not it.
Yeah, it was.
This is not it.
Yeah, it was zeros all around.
The song was so bad, she got on Twitter to apologize.
Which is crazy.
She was on
That's
Twitter
crazy.
apologizing. How? It's like you shot a whole video for
A
this.
whole video. They thought this was gonna pop. This
It
was it.
couldn't possibly have. You couldn't hear this and think that it was good. Hey, we resolved it.
I don't know what is going on. Okay,
It
sorry
wouldn't
for
be
all
us
the
without issues. Anyway,
yeah,
we were talking about the Sexy
shit.
Red song. It was bad. But she's found an audience. And you know what?
She's found her niche, and that's what's the most important, right? If it was me, honestly, like if I was in the position of her and I'm like, listen, I went viral once, I'm gonna make it stick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make
And
it stick.
she's trying to make it stick. So you know what? Good for her.
Yeah,
The
I'm not mad
Maya the
at her.
Dawn song, 10.
It's okay.
I thought it was fine. Yeah, it was too repetitive. It was too long. I feel like the song could have been less than 2 minutes and been just as good. I think this is another one though that is going to be good for the radio. Good for the
You
radio.
okay?
Good for TikTok. But I don't
I
see it
can
being
see
a
that.
massive hit.
No, I don't. I don't see it either. But I'm like, I wonder if this is just gonna be her thing too, where she just like takes samples
Yeah,
and like kind of remixes, which like cool if it is, but I think she has more potential than that.
I agree. I agree.
So
Okay, should we get into our main topic?
yes,
All right. So, this week, everybody, for our main topic, I wanted to talk this week about female rappers whose careers we think need reviving and how we would do it. So, we both chose two female rappers. I don't know if we chose the same ones. We don't know.
I
So, we're
feel
just
like
going
we
to talk
have
about like
one.
our plans just for fun on what we would do to revive their careers, and I think we should go like volley back and forth. Like talk about one,
Okay.
and then you talk about one, and then I talk about one, and then you talk about one.
Okay. I'm curious if we have the same one, or at least for one of them. So one of them that I had was Lakia.
Okay.
Yeah. What was yours?
That is very, very valid. What was your plan for Lakia?
I think she needs new management. That was number one.
New management, absolutely.
New management, clean house.
Clean house.
I think two, similar to what I was saying about like Mellow Brooks, is like I think we need to define like what her identity is within the rap game.
Exactly.
Because I think she could go a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
And I think she could like anchor in on her being from like Detroit and like her like being like a real lyricist. Like I think that we need to like anchor in on like who her identity is, and from there be able to have like a reintroduction like kind of mixtape that's like very ties back to like who she is, where she's from, what she's about. And that is how we could like start to like build up awareness of who she is, basically.
Yeah, I agree. The first one that I said was Trina.
Okay.
And I said this because like she's an OG city girl, like the baddest bitch. Like, but her southern, I think what went wrong is like she's very southern. She has this very Miami sound, and she really couldn't keep up. I think with the way that rap shifted when Nicki Minaj came onto the scene, and she had all this theatricality and sex appeal and mainstream appeal. Like it felt like for a couple of years when that happened, Southern rap really took a major hit, like as far as rap was concerned. And she was affected. Like, obviously, she was affected by that. But I think the way to fix that is to lean into her legacy. Like, let's do what Mariah Carey does. Let's re release our old albums with like commentary, documentary style clips, like scrapped tracks, you know? Like, I also think that her fashion as of late, like Trina's signature style, is making a huge comeback in like culture, you know? So I think she needs one of those Vogue videos of her best looks because Trina is really a fashion girl. You know, she needs like a magazine cover that shows off her body, and she needs to hop on a track with some of the new girls and really show them like who the baddest bitch is. Like I want her like she also needs like obviously more viral TikTok sounds because with her face to it. You know, because she has a lot of those on TikTok. A lot of things from her albums go viral, but people don't necessarily connect that to Trina.
The
I also
recognition,
want
yeah.
her. I want her on track. So JT, Young Miami, Megan, Cardi, maybe Nicki, Flo Milli, Lotto, Doechii. Like I think she has the versatility as a rapper to be able to work with all of them. But I also would love for her to lean into like her fashion side because Trina was how I learned what red bottom shoes were. Like it was Trina who first introduced that to me. Like I want to see her at these fashion shows. Like let's get her a D Square. Let's get her a Mugler. She should have her own red bottom shoe brand. You know what I mean? Like listen, because before Cardi B was talking about them, Trina was talking about red bottoms for years in her raps. And I think like she's a fashion icon really, and she doesn't get enough credit for that. So I want her to have like her own reality TV mini series about her comeback, and I want her to get off of Love and Hip Hop.
Oh,
she got to get off of that show.
She has to go.
She has to move on.
Yeah, not everybody can be a Cardi B.
Exactly. But I mean, you can't stay and also think that you're going to have like Cardi B's career trajectory. You got to leave it behind.
You got to leave. You got to leave. You're right. No, I think I think those were valid, like, suggestions. Like, I think I'd like what you said of like calling back to like her legacy. And it's like, this is why you have JT and this is why you have these type of people. So I could definitely see that. I could see that. The other person that I had was Little Kim. And yeah, and I was like similar notes as well. Like I think it would be when I was thinking about her, maybe because I've been listening to, like I said, some 90s hip hop. I was also thinking about Method Man as well.
Oh, okay.
Like I was thinking about how has like how has he been able to be like relevant in today and still have that same like appeal that like people from the 90s felt of like
Yeah.
he's handsome, he was able to like reinvent himself in some
Mhm.
ways. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, if Little Kim was to like come back in 2025, what would I want that to look like, and what would I want to hear her talking about? And I think it would be some of the like the reflections of like what she's learned over the years, and like to your
Mhm.
point saying like maybe some new tracks that like were left off of the album that she didn't think were going to land well.
Mhm.
um but I don't know if I would want her or need her to collaborate with like female rappers of today,
Yeah.
because I think she can hold her own.
Yeah.
But that was another person that I had that I was like, if we were to revive her career, what it would look like. But it was just interesting for me to think about like, how would she stay relevant in today, like as like a Method Man has like been able
Mhm.
to become relevant again.
It's harder for women.
Yeah.
It's harder for women to make a comeback. People are just less accepting of women who are older, number 1,
Yeah.
doing the same thing that men who are older than them are doing. But also, I don't know, people just are less accepting of it when it comes to women who rap. They kind of feel like it's something that they should grow out of and then let
Mm.
like new young blood come in.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I disagree with that.
Right, exactly. And that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, why would I feel like adverse to hearing like Queen Latifah coming out with an album? Like, would I be less inclined to listen to what she has to say? I'd be like, of course, I would want to hear what has she been thinking about, or like what is important to her now, and like what makes her her now versus when she was releasing music back in the
Yeah.
day. You
Yeah.
know?
I agree. My next person was Foxy Brown, kind of in that vein. So it's
Oh, okay.
interesting that you talked about Lil Kim. And I think what her comeback is going to be less about music and more about just like reminding people because of who she is, because her legacy has kind of been marred by just a lot of legal troubles that she's faced.
Mm,
But I feel like
mhm,
she's all about high fashion. Like, and I
mhm,
think right now the world is all about high fashion. Like I feel like hip hop has never been more intertwined with high fashion. Dior
mhm,
is getting a new creative director, and she used to be like a muse for John Galliano when he was in Dior. So I think like her style is legendary. We need a Foxy Brown coffee table book of her best looks. And we need it
mm,
in her own words. She needs to start talking about her career and what happened in her own words. I want like an in-depth piece in like the New York Times magazine by a real fucking journalist. I
mm.
want her to release a single that shows she still has bars and then hit the town, you
Yeah,
know? I mean, like, you should be everywhere talking about the single, talking about her coffee table book.
mhm,
She should be at the Dior fashion show. She should be at John Galliano's fashion show. And then she should be like, I think on songs with these new Brooklyn rappers, and maybe not Nicki Minaj at first. I know they're close, but I don't think she should go right back to working with a Nicki Minaj. I think she
yeah,
and Jay-Z need to kiss and make up and get back on their like
yeah,
Bonnie and Clyde shit. Let's release a song together because that age group is Foxy Brown's audience and
yeah, for sure.
her career can be sustained. It can be like revived and sustained on a Gen X audience or even older
Mhm,
millennial, even like older millennial
yeah,
nostalgia. Like they still
mhm,
remember who she was once upon a time,
right.
and she needs to stay off the internet. That's that. Like, because it's not going to be good for her. She can't give a damn about how her single is performing. She needs to work hard on a new album. She needs to get back in the lab with
Yeah,
the people who produce Il Nana, Tone and Poke. Maybe get on an LL Cool J song. Like she
yeah,
needs to get back on her New York underground like rap shit
right.
because that's like kind of how she was hungry, she was coming up and she was doing that kind of thing. And I think it works really well to pair that with her very like incredible fashion sense. She's an icon when it comes to that. Why not lean
Mhm.
into that to reinvent yourself?
Yeah. No, that's really fair. And I like the whole coffee table idea too. Of like,
Yes.
this is it. And then also I like the idea of like leaning into like the generation who made her, right? It's
Yes.
like being able to do a callback, but also saying like, this is who I am now again.
And you know what? I think that age group is more forgiving.
You are so right.
They're much more willing to accept you and be like, man, I'm gonna listen to this because I've been rocking with this nigga since '94, and I decided back then that's my nigga, so I'm gonna listen to
That's
whatever he
it.
put
I'm
out.
gonna stick beside him.
And they show up to the concerts.
And they show up to the concerts.
They
Yeah, you're so right.
buy the merch, they buy the CDs, they buy like they are going to support, and that is a valid lane. You don't have to always cater to Gen Z or even younger kids. Like that's not your vibe, and you don't need to give a fuck about what they think about your music because it's not for them.
It's not for them. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so those are some of our thoughts on some female rappers whose careers we think need reviving and how we would do it. I think that's really fun, and I think we should do that, like another round of that for some other female rappers. Because I have a couple more in mind that definitely need some support. For sure. Okay, music rec time.
Yeah, music rec time. Let me see. I'm trying to think what I've been listening to.
Okay, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my music rec, I said my first. I'm only gonna do one. My music rec is actually from Ken the Man's latest tape, Kind of Famous.
I was about to do that.
It's Yo Face. Because I've been listening to that song on repeat.
Really?
I've been listening to that song like pretty much every day.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. I was going back to her album as well, and I was gonna say I Got Questions. Actually, was gonna be my rec. Yeah, that song grew on me.
It did. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it again because it's still not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I think I saw a TikTok with her on it, and maybe that's what got me.
Probably. You know what? Damn you, TikTok.
Always
getting us. All right, guys. If you made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Where My Girls At. And we'll see you guys in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girls At, a podcast about Black women in hip hop. Where My Girls At is produced and edited by Mariah Woods and hosted by Mariah Woods and Brianna LaRosliere. Follow us on Twitter at Where My Girls At 2, on Instagram at Where My Girls At _TH, and on TikTok at Where My Girls At Pod. See you next time.